I've just been blind all my life, so it's just been a part of my life. I went to the school for the blind 200 miles away from my home and for 9 years, and learned all the special skills that I needed, and I'm just so happy to be living in this era specifically when all of this AI is coming together, and there's so much neat. I just would be lost without my technology. It's just opened up a whole new world for blind people, and so it's just something I've always been used to. Yep.
Okay. And if you can find the door handle right here, and you just push in right there, and then you can, you kind of have to use your hand to push in, and then you can grab the handle and pull out.
Oh, okay. Get the hang of it, no problem.
There you go. All right, so this is Connie's first experience with the Tesla Robotaxi, and as you could tell, one of the things for a blind person is trying to figure out how the door handle works, and that's kind of a design of the Tesla vehicle. So let's get in and let's try the first ride. Well, Connie just had her first ride. We're getting out here at the Radio Coffee store, and we're going to go in and talk a little bit. I'll get another hail taxi ride, and then we're going to talk to Connie and learn a little bit more about what her experience with Robotaxi was, and start getting a bunch of suggestions for the team of how to make it better for people that are blind but could definitely use the Robotaxi service. So I'm with Connie. We're waiting for the next Robotaxi to arrive, and we've had a lot of great conversations so far, which I'm going to ask her again and get recorded. But it's everything about how the app works, how the service works, how she could interface with the Robotaxi to be able to go wherever she wanted. You know, the service right now, Connie, I mean, what would you say so far?
Just excellent. I can't believe how smooth it rides. I wouldn't have known that there wasn't anyone in the driver's seat, and Joe has been describing some of the challenging things that it's been doing already, like it knows to go the other way when there's a detour, and just if you can remember any of the other things, but right. I'm sure you've done a lot of these rides already, so yeah, awesome.
Yeah, done a few, but I wanted you to experience the first one just so you could feel how it goes. Mm-hmm. And on this one, when we get into the car, we should have a lot more time, and I'm going to be talking with you and getting your impressions, but also your feedback for the team, and that's one of the most important reasons why we're doing this. Yeah. So anyway, the Robotaxi should be here momentarily, and we will restart recording when we get into the car. Okay, so this is an interesting thing when you're thinking about blind people using Robotaxi. Robotaxi passed us by, and it's been looking for a place to park near all of these cars that are on the road. And Connie and I came from the restaurant, which is back behind us. So the app will show you visually how to find your way to the vehicle, but for Connie, there's no real way for her to be notified that the vehicle is here, but also where it chose to go down the road. So we're going to start walking towards the Robotaxi, but this would be one of the areas where Tesla could try to figure out a different way to notify you not only the update of when it was going to arrive, but where it is. And I'm going to just stop here for a second.
App on my phone that a human could look through the camera with my phone and direct me to where it was.
Right, so a human could help you, mm-hmm. but right now with where the Robotaxi is, it's quite a ways down the road, mm-hmm. and it's mostly because of all of the traffic on this road. It had to try to find a safe place for you to get in. Mm-hmm. So just one of many opportunities for Tesla to work on to get into the vehicle. So we're gonna come over on the left-hand side of the car, and I will position you near the door, and you can go ahead and try to get into it and find that door handle. And it's right over there and right here. And again, this is on the back part. You have to push, and it comes out.
It would be nice if there was a beep on it or something. So
right. Right, good observation. Connie just said it would be nice if maybe the door were to beep or something so that she knew where that handle was. But go ahead and get in, and we'll start up on the next ride, and we're going to have a lot of questions to ask.
It's blowing my
Yeah. So we are in the Robotaxi, and one of the first things is that Connie needs to put her seatbelt on, and the vehicle will not let us go until the seatbelts are on. But it will tell us that on the center screen of the car, which is right here, but it doesn't say it on the app, and it won't let us push that start button to go. So that's kind of another thing that maybe for blind passengers that they could work on a little bit more is maybe an audible, maybe using Grok to talk to you and saying, hey, make sure you put your seatbelt on before you're able to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and let her push the button again on the screen.
So is it in this?
And we're off.
Yay.
And here we go.
Where is that button located on the screen? Is it like in the center or where?
That's a good question. You know, because she can't see the screen, she's wondering where is that button, and it's like a big circular graphical button, and it's on the right hand side of the screen. And there are a few things about this screen that I want to talk about, but first I came on this part of the road because the car has to do a 3-point turn here, and it's a dead end. There's a couple of driveways, there's some cars that are in the way. So the Robotaxi is having to kind of back up and go forward on sort of a 3 or 4 point turn to turn us around. And while it's doing this, Connie, what are you feeling? How does it seem?
Wow, it's just so human-like. I just can't get over it. Yeah, and like not jerky at all, and it doesn't seem like overly hesitant or unsure. It just kind of does its thing.
Yep. In this case, it looks like it may have been a 4 or 5 point turn because it's so narrow where we're at.
Wow.
But, you know, one of the cool things about Connie is she's, you know, wanting to stress out this Robotaxi, and she wanted to specifically try all the difficult things. And so there's one of them right now. But something that I do want to point out for the team, and Connie was mentioning this too, and I may ask you some questions, but everything is based on this center screen. And it does have, you know, the information about where we are with the map. It shows we're going to arrive in about 12 minutes. It shows the location that we're going to, and it has a bunch of these other buttons on the bottom. One of them is the pullover button, and that is used to kind of pull over the vehicle, but it also terminates the ride. And the problem is for Connie with not being able to see is this is just a button on a screen. There's no bumps on it, there's no tactile feeling, and it's very close to the temperature display. So if she's trying to change the temperature, she may inadvertently hit the pullover button, which is not what you want.
Right.
And then of course next to that on the far right of the screen is the support button. That's a very important button because if you had a problem and you needed to talk to a person and there was nobody in the car, if you hit that button, you can talk to somebody at the operations center and you can say, hey, I'm lost, or I need help, or whatever you need. Yep. So that's a feature that's added, but because it's just a button on the screen on the bottom right, it may be difficult for you to find that button.
Yeah, is that on the app, the call?
It is. There is a, on the bottom part of the app screen, there is both the pullover and the support button, but they're really close together again, so it might be easy for you to hit both of them.
And I just wanted to make a comment that I do use like Uber and Lyft a lot, so they're very accessible apps, so I know all of this is very possible because, yeah, I do it a lot.
So what does Uber or Lyft use on their apps that helps you that maybe Tesla could incorporate into their app?
Your phone's location is being used to show location in better ways.
It's a lot of the same types of features, like, and for me, I'm not really sure when I'm not really sure when it's using the, when my screen reader is like reading graphics or when it's reading words. So that part I'm not really sure about. All I know is it integrates very well, and I can pretty much do anything on there that a sighted person can do on those particular apps. So, yeah.
Well, you were talking about Grok. How do you think they could leverage Grok to help you out?
That would be very good. I mean, not only for blind people, but just for anybody to be like, if you're afraid of technology or whatever, you can just talk in a normal voice or like a normal way of saying whatever you want to say, and it would just understand you and like change the route if you wanted, or just anything. Like ask it how much is left of my ride, or how far have we gone, where are we right now, or any of that. So I can't wait for Grok to be fully integrated.
Now, we talked about another way that you were mentioning Grok could be used, and the app as well, and that is when you set up your original profile to be able to use the Robotaxi, that you'd be able to indicate that you are blind, or you need special ways to interact with you, and maybe that Tesla can incorporate that into the app. And so every time that you get into a Robotaxi, it remembers who you are, what help that you need, and it can kind of configure the car for you.
Yeah, kind of customizable in that way, because like on my Uber and Lyft, I do have a thing in there too where it will automatically send a message to the driver telling them that I'm blind and have a white cane or whatever, so that would be handy.
Mm-hmm. And another way, we were talking when we did the first ride, is as we got closer, it had a kind of an audible tone that said we were about a minute out, and on the screen on the back of the car it said, make sure you gather your belongings. But if Grok could be integrated and it was talking to you and it says, hey Connie, we're getting close to your destination, make sure you gather all your things, thank you for riding Robotaxi, do you think that would be helpful?
That would be very helpful indeed, yes.
Okay.
And I think Elon would, I mean, blind people are going to be a big part of his people that use this, I'm very sure, because yeah, transportation is something that we don't take lightly. So yep, I'm sure he'll consider all of this.
So you mentioned that you've been using Lyft and Uber, so ride-hailing services are not new to you.
Nope.
Okay, so so far, this is just ride 2, and we're going to get some more, but so far what stands out to you about the Tesla ride-hailing service and what you've observed?
Yeah, there are a lot of similarities. Of course, I wish I could have, I wish first of all that it was on Android, and I wish that I actually had an account, but of course neither of those is the case yet. But I still feel very fortunate to be invited along as one of the early riders of this, but that will be, then I could give you a more thorough response of what I wish it did and what it doesn't do the greatest or whatever. But yeah, just some of the stuff you already mentioned about like having less graphics, or at least for the screen reader to make sure it's able to read the graphics and tell you all the things you might want to know about your ride.
Okay, well, talk a little bit more about something that you mentioned about pickup and the ability to geolocate you with your phone versus having a pin that you can move around.
Yeah, that is something very important, I believe. You have the ability to be able for the app to either see your GPS location, which is I think how Uber does it, because it will come to me without me having to, because of course I'm not able to see a map to put a pin where I need it to be. So it'd be great if it would just know where I am, or something like that, using either GPS, or if it can see me and know who I am by my profile picture that I have in my account, or whatever. That would be awesome.
And then maybe in addition to that, with having that Grok integration, so it knows where you're at, but it can talk to you about it as it's getting closer to you, and maybe you can interact with it and saying, can you come a little bit closer, or whatever you need to help you out.
Yep, and also definitely, and in the meantime, the horn button where you can have it beep its horn needs to be something that a blind person can access via the app, so that we can, because of course we can't see blinking lights or whatever, so we have to go by audio cues.
Right, well, that is actually a feature that they have, but once again, it's built into the graphical interface of the app. So if there was a way, again, maybe with the voice, with Grok or some other system, for you to say, can you honk the horn, so I know where it's at, and maybe help you kind of home your way into the car. And I had a little bit of a demo as we were getting into the Robotaxi, but another aspect is getting into the car and the design of the handles. What would you suggest that Tesla do to maybe getting into the vehicle a little bit easier?
Yeah, if the handles could beep or something, so I would know where to find them, because they're so flush with the car right now that it's hard to do that right now, but I'm sure I'll get used to it too the more I practice. But it would be great if there was some kind of audio cue there as well.
Okay. Well, you know, Konnie is not one that isn't aware of technology. As you can tell, she's got special glasses that have cameras. She uses app readers, you know, a lot of other technology. So tell me a little bit about your interest in technology and how that works with Robotaxi.
Okay, also, I just wanted to mention really quick, another thing, when we get to the destination, it would be great if I could ask Grok and be able to trust the response, like, when I exit the car, which way should I turn, or something like that. So as to your question about technology, I've just been blind all my life, so it's just been a part of my life. I went to the school for the blind, 200 miles away from my home, and for 9 years, and learned all the special skills that I needed. And I'm just so happy to be living in this era, specifically when all of this AI is coming together, and there's so much neat. I just would be lost without my technology. It's just opened up a whole new world for blind people, and so it's just something I've always been used to. Yep.
All right. Well, what's ironic is right next to you outside is a Waymo. So, you know, we have Tesla Robotaxi, but we also have the Waymo, which offers autonomous driving. Both of those solutions, we'll have to try to figure out a way of helping people like you with that, finding the vehicle, and then when you are done with the ride, getting on your way.
And I know a lot of blind people already do use Waymo, but I think Tesla is superior for a lot of reasons, so that would be my preference. But if a Waymo came to my area, I would definitely use it.
All right, well, one last question here on this particular section of the ride, and then I will, we'll get to our location and we'll keep splicing in some thoughts. But now that you've had 2 rides, what is your assessment about how is it riding as far as comfort?
Just great. I mean, I just can't say enough of how human it feels, and especially knowing that you have particularly chosen like challenging situations for it, and it's just doing it like effortlessly. Like I would not even know that anything unusual was happening or anything. It's just I can just kind of just totally relax and not even worry. Just know that I'm going to be safe, and I mean they're going to be way safer than a human driver. So, and I can already see that's the case.
And not only that, but as we were talking, if you had your own car and it had unsupervised full self-driving, just think of the independence that you would have.
Yeah, especially when you can just go anywhere, all over the country, or just whatever. I could even put it in the fleet and have it earn money for me. So that's awesome.
So a lot of opportunities for the Tesla Robotaxi and for the team, and some things that they could work on with some of Konnie's observations and inputs. Okay, we're a little bit later. I wanted to talk a little more about Konnie, and you actually run a YouTube channel. So how do you do that, and what does your technology do to allow you to make the content?
So my channel is Gliding Through Blindness, so you can all check it out if you want. But my Meta glasses, I love them. I've been started my channel about a year ago, and the glasses are what gave me the courage to do that, because I didn't have to aim a phone. I can just the camera in the glasses is very good, and like the stability is very good, and so I can just look at or face whatever I want to record. And then when I'm not recording videos, these Meta glasses just have a lot of great features, like where I can ask glasses, what do you see? So I could even actually do that to help me. Do you see a Robotaxi, and where is it from where I'm standing? I didn't even think about that till right now, but yeah, I could do that. And then I can also integrate it with the app called Be My Eyes, where I can just say, call Be My Eyes, and it will connect me with a human volunteer that can see through the view of my glasses and tell me where things are. So yep, I love my Metas.
Oh, that's awesome. And this is sort of the broader discussion point that we're having here, is all the technology that's being developed, whether it's the autonomous driving, the Meta glasses, and just a variety of other things that allow people like Konnie to have that independence and live a very productive life and doing all kinds of cool stuff. That's what all of this is about, and this is why I and Konnie are so excited about what's going on with Robotaxi. So we'll get out here at our next destination and we'll hail another one and try another ride. There you go. All right, and another Robotaxi ride completed. Okay, so we're getting ready to go on the third Robotaxi ride. And once again, this is an opportunity for Tesla to make some changes to the program. And that is that I use the app, which is graphical, and I put the address in that we're gonna go to, and I set up the ride. But for Konnie, there's no real way for her to see what I did. I'm putting up here a kind of a screen grab showing what the pickup location is like. We're at the Hilton, downtown Austin, and the pickup is just outside, and we have to go over kind of a little bit of a parking median and over to the pickup location. And for you, it would be really helpful if there was some way other than me being here to help direct you there.
For sure, yeah.
So do you have any ideas of how that might work?
Like for now, I would just call Ira or Be My Eyes to get somebody to look through my phone and tell me what's happening. But yeah, eventually I'm sure that will just all be integrated into the app, and they'll have blind testers. I'm sure I'd love to be a beta tester, but then the blind testers could make sure everything is reading what it should, so we get the same access as everyone else.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if this is something the Tesla team could do, but it would be a way of bringing together some of their technology, and that is the Robotaxi app knows where the Robotaxi is coming to. Her phone knows where she's located. Grok could be able to integrate within the two, and then live real time talk to you and direct you to the Robotaxi.
That'd be very cool. I'm sure it's all possible someday.
Well, if that is possible, we would recommend that for the Tesla team, and I think that would be a great addition to how the Robotaxi app works. It would certainly open up the market to a lot more people. So this is just sort of showing you that situation about getting into the Robotaxi. We've exited the hotel. We're near where the Robotaxi is going to be, but between where Konnie is and across the street where the Robotaxi is expected to stop, we have a valet driveway. We have this kind of a small fence gate and a raised median and a roadway. And having that ability to be able to help Konnie find her way to the Robotaxi would be really beneficial. And again, if Tesla could figure out a way of maybe integrating this kind of feature into the Robotaxi app, specifically for people who maybe with their profile has set this up ahead of times, it would really help her out a lot. So hopefully this video kind of gives you that idea of some of the obstacles that people who are blind that are trying to use the Robotaxi would have to overcome to be able to use it to its fullest. All right, well, I'm here with Konnie. We're back in another Robotaxi, and this time we tried out a different feature of the app that did help you a little bit, and that is being able to honk the horn and help a little bit direct you to the vehicle. So how did that work out for you?
Good, and yeah, especially now that I know that it would guide me to the front of the car, and then I can just put my hand on it, and then from there it was easy for me to find where the door handles were and everything. So it's just a matter of time and practice to be able to really make this a smooth process. But yeah, that horn was definitely a neat feature.
Yeah, and if you integrated Grok, then you could talk to it and then it could honk the horn for you.
Yeah.
And so that does work well. That's a feature that's already in the app. Just need to adapt it a little bit more to support blind people, but otherwise that worked out pretty well. Now, once again, when we got into the vehicle, and Konnie's starting to become an expert in getting into the car now with the door handle, but it's still a little bit of that challenge with this screen, and because it's a graphical interface on a flat screen, and it doesn't have any haptic feedback or any protrusions or bumps for Konnie, it's still a little bit of a difficulty finding that start button and not hitting some of the other buttons like the support button, for example. So another area for potential improvement for the team.
Yeah, because Joe had told me it's on the right edge of the screen, so I wanted to see if I could find it myself. So I just said, like, is this the right place? And he said up a little bit, and then I didn't remember until later that that support button was right next to it. So if I would have accidentally hit that, that would have been, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, hopefully there could be a voiceover mode installed so that it wouldn't do anything. That's just one possible solution, that it would wait until I double tap on an option, and otherwise it would just tell me what my finger is passing over, and then when I get to what I want, I would just double tap it and it wouldn't activate anything until I did.
So yeah, you know, great service, but this room to improve. And I think with all of this feedback that Konnie is giving, I think this is very valuable for the team. So once again, thanks. You know, one of the things that Konnie and I have been talking about, and I thought it would be great to maybe capture this on video, is with all the technologies that are available and what's helping her already with her glasses and maybe the autonomous driving, there's also Neuralink, and you actually have followed that and you have some thoughts. So what do you think about Neuralink?
Yeah, I just think it's so exciting what it's already doing for people that are quadriplegic or ALS or whatever. And just the potential there, like they could have a robot doing things for them eventually, because controlling it via their Neuralink, or just the possibilities are endless, and especially for blind people. I mean, even though I've never seen anything because I was born blind, but the Neuralink will be able to hook right into my visual cortex, and I'll be able to see. And I'm sure at first it wouldn't be much vision, but later on it will, and I'll have to learn to see, because since I've never seen anything, I won't know what does this shape mean, what is. So that would all be a process, but I'd definitely be willing to do that, because even though I can do basically whatever I want now as a blind person, I wouldn't mind being able to see either.
So, you know, that's actually great. And you've mentioned that is you would be willing to give it a go.
Yeah, I would.
Wow.
It's just exciting, the possibilities, and I know it's already, like, people that have gone before, how successful it's been for them. Like, it's a day's surgery basically, not even just a couple hours or whatever. It's incredible. So it only gets better from here.
Yeah, well, I know that they term it as blind sight, and that is one of the goals that they have coming up. I don't know if anybody has received that yet, but hopefully we're going to hear about that soon. And you know, if it's successful and it's able to even give you some degree of vision, that's really going to change your life.
It would. Yep. Like, just even a little bit of vision would be very helpful, and more than I have ever had. So yep, I'm totally game.
Well, how cool is it that we are riding in a car, driving itself, talking to you about maybe having an implant that is also developed by Elon Musk company that could further change your life.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so this is some of that promise and some of the reason why so many people are interested and support what is going on. And you know, there's a lot of people that have talked about doing stuff like this, but there's very few that are actually doing it. And I think that's what sets what Elon is trying to do, and the companies that he has apart from many others. So thank you very much for that perspective too, Konnie.
Press the button.
Yeah, so that's another thing, is trying to learn where the button is, which is right here on the handle, and it's right there.
Ah, right on the handle.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
So
remember
that's another kind of an area where maybe some thought could be done to help blind people exiting the car because of that that switch.
if they could even see my hand and say more to the left or something like that.
Right. And one other thing that we have talked about before is when the ride is about to end, currently it puts a little beep, and then it puts a display on the screen saying your ride's about to end. Make sure you grab all your belongings. But it would be much more helpful if this was audible and kind of gave those instructions so Konnie knew that it was time for the ride to end and it's about ready to get out. One other thing that I do want to talk about here has to do with the lost items. I want to point this out because I noticed that Konnie was kind of trying to make sure she had all of her bags and everything as she was getting out of the car. There is a procedure through the app for you to highlight that you lost an item, but it's still all graphical, and it makes it difficult for Konnie to be able to navigate through and identify that she had left an item. So there's another opportunity for how the app works, and for Tesla to maybe think a little bit more about how to support blind people, of making that report of a lost item a little bit easier.
Yeah, is there any way, if you don't realize till like a half hour later that you left something, is there any way to get that back? Or?
Yeah, well, the way the app works right now is you can go to your ride history, and if you remember it was the ride that dropped you off here at, say, the Walmart,
Yep.
you can pick that, and then you can put the report there so it identifies the time and the car.
Okay, cool.
So anyway, yet another just an opportunity to add to what the service and the app already has, and I'm hoping that this is valuable information for the team, as well as to help make Konnie and everybody else that's going to be using the Robotaxi service coming up.
Yeah.
And here's Konnie waiting for her Robotaxi to arrive. We spent some time at the Walmart, and now here it comes. And it's pulling over and hopefully stopping right in front. That would be really cool. And it does. So we'll get ready to get into the car and start the next ride. So Konnie, now that we're on ride number 4,
My last ride.
yeah, but you've got some experience now, and you know, you've talked, and we're going to cover some of the additions that they could make to make the service better. What is your impression? I mean, do you feel more confident about using it?
Yeah, like you had it honk the horn, and I was able to find the car, and I was able to figure out the door independently, and I know how the place to get out when we reach our destination, how to open the door. So yeah, the more you use it, it just does become more natural. But of course, for newbies, I mean, the voice activation is always helpful. Like, I forgot to wear my seatbelt when I got in, and so it would have been nice if I would have been told, oh, please wear your seatbelt or whatever, but I'm sure all that is coming.
Okay, well, you know, I think that is probably what most people would experience, is as you do it more often, you'll get more familiar with it. And, you know, I think Robotaxi is very similar. What we got to do now is expand the area so it includes South Dakota.
Exactly, for sure. Yes.
So hopefully that'll be coming soon. Still a lot of work to be done by the team, but it's great to see the progress that they're making.
Yep, exciting, and thanks again for letting me do this.
No problem. So one of the things that Konnie and I have noticed about the Robotaxi service in the expanded area is that sometimes the wait times can be a little bit much. So what were your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind waiting. I was just sitting there importing videos, but I just think that means I need to get more vehicles out there and expand even more, and that's a good reason for them to do so.
Right, and you know, it's not just the area, but the number of riders, and as more people find out about this, they really do need to get more vehicles out here.
Yep, sure.
What would be a good wait time that you would like to see them shoot for?
Ideally, like 3 to 5 minutes eventually. That's about what Uber usually is. If it's longer than that, I start to get impatient, but every now and then it is longer than that.
By the way, speaking of Uber, your experience with that and what we've seen with Robotaxi, correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't used Uber, but oftentimes I've been told that Uber can cancel your ride after you get it.
Yes.
And how does that compare with Robotaxi?
Yeah, you don't. That's something you never have to worry about, and especially blind people with guide dogs. Like, if some drivers are a different religion that doesn't like dogs, or they have allergies or whatever, they're canceling your ride, and so that can be quite frustrating. So this will be something that you never have to worry about. It will be reliable, and so that's definitely a big plus.
All right, so we have finished 4 rides. You've got a chance to drive all over Austin, and I'm really curious, what is your overall impression? What stood out to you, and what would you like people to know about your experience with Robotaxi?
It was totally impressive, just like I knew it would be, because I've been doing a lot of research and watching lots of videos and stuff before I even ever got in one, but it met all my expectations and surpassed them, just how smooth it was. Like I said, it seemed totally like a human driving, except betterer. And yeah, I've learned a lot already, and I can't wait till it gets in my neck of the woods.
Well, awesome. Now, we were talking, you know, for you, feeling motion and jerkiness and changes in the ride would be something you would definitely notice. So, your impression of Robotaxi?
Very good. I couldn't say enough good things about it.
Okay, and we encountered a lot of different challenges. We had construction, we had change routes, we had pedestrians, we were at a Walmart, and we were at all kinds of different situations, and you got a chance to experience all of that. So I just want to say thank you again. It's been a pleasure getting a chance to meet you and have this experience with you. And
appreciate the opportunity.
Well, no problem. And as I mentioned, you have your own website. So how can people find you?
You can go search for Gliding Through Blindness on YouTube, and then from there I have a link to my Facebook page as well, and I'd love to see some of you there.
Well, awesome. Well, check her out. She's got a lot of great thoughts about a bunch of different subjects, and now Robotaxi is one of them. So thank you again. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that you found this informative. And also, you know, Konnie had a lot of great ideas for the team, and hopefully they take that to heart, and it will help many more people.
Thanks.
So take care.